Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, June 15th, and today we'll cover the trades for YieldMax funds, Tesley, CONY, NVDY, and MSTY. And I'll just tell you in advance, I basically just woke up. I obviously, my alarm went off at 4. I thought I hit snooze, but I didn't. And then I woke up at 5, and we have way too much crap we got to do today. So I just got to get this done half awake, so let's do our best here. So first off, yesterday I did make some purchases. YieldMax, had the ex-dividend date and Ulti, so I bought some of them, bought 10 shares each, and then I bought 10 shares of Clip to lower my cost basis. Just so you guys know, I didn't even realize it when I made the video yesterday, but we do have a holiday, New York Stock Exchange holiday next week. Juneteenth falls on the Wednesday, so the stock market is closed on the Wednesday. So when I say 4 trading days, that's why. All right, so let's go to the trades. Everyone had trades. Tesley first, they no synthetic action. They closed out their weeklies and they purchased new positions for next week. However, it looks like they have changed what has been working, so I am against this. They, in the past few weeks actually, they have, used 2 strike prices, with the same contract number, because obviously they haven't added contracts or removed contracts, but they always use 2 strike prices and they've been winning. And now they decided to use 1 strike price, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If it's not broken, why try to fix it, right? Why not just choose the 2 strike prices? Maybe the juice wasn't there, right? Maybe the premium wasn't there. So I get it. But anyway, let's go. All right, so here is Tesley. Again, they have a synthetic 180, 32,000 contracts, expires July 19th. They have a synthetic 175, 6,690 contracts, expires July 19th. Okay, so how did Tesla do yesterday? Tesla ended up down 2.44%, and Tesley ended up down 1.05%. So, it's pretty much exactly what they needed to happen. So if we look at the closeouts, right, they only paid, if you pretty much any of these pay under $1, you can guarantee it's a win. So they paid 73 cents and they paid 33 cents. So Tesla closed at what price? 178.71. So I don't know at what point they cash settled it, but obviously that's a win, right? Their strike prices, their lowest strike price was 182.50. We were in danger going into yesterday, and the Tesley gods came out and saved us. So in the end, they only paid $1.4 million to close it. So they made $6.5 million on those contracts. So Tesley has won their weeklies yet again. But again, they used every week 2 contracts, 2 strikes. Let's see. 2 contracts, 2 strikes, right? You go to May. Where's the bottom? Where the hell are we here? 2 contracts, 2 strikes, right? 2 contracts, 2 strikes. 2 contracts, 2 strikes. 2 contracts, 2 strikes. I know this is annoying, but you get what I'm saying. But now, what are they doing? 2 contracts, 1 strike. I mean, why change it? Why? It's been working. I don't know. Whatever. All right, so they're going, and I know if someone's going to comment, why are you complaining? I'm not complaining. I'm just making a point that the strategy that they've been using is working. And now they're choosing a 1 strike price, 185. Well, let's see what it's yielding. Maybe that'll tell us everything. Well, 78% yield. Do they need to yield 78%? I mean, they could have dropped one. Raised one, probably got like a 50% yield or so. But I don't know. But if it works out, obviously it's better. It'll work out in their favor. But all right, so anyway, all contracts, 38,690 contracts, 185 strike, 3.93% out of the money, 4 trading days heading into next week. that could be one of the reasons, right? One less trading day, but I don't know, man. All right, outstanding shares did not move. So here is the summary. 30-day IV, 44.3%. Outstanding shares, 44,625,000. Net income from the weekly contract, 16.8 million. Total distribution, 38 cents. Daily income, 4 cents a day. Daily yield, 0.25%. And annualized yield, 91.42%. Tesley, fund manager, he's spitting out money lately. He's just winning, and more winning. All right, payment details. Let's check this out. All right, again, no synthetic action, which is good. They don't need it. They're just winning. So weekly calls, 16.8 million income. So far, again, it's like halfway through the month, right? So far, they made 38 cents just from the weekly freaking calls. Unbelievable. This is really like good stuff to see here. So if I take that number, and again, don't get too excited here because this is a little probably unrealistic, but the estimate comes to $1.06 or a 84% yield. Again, weekly call income alone, that's the estimate. They don't need their synthetic to bail them out. Why? Because they're winning their weekly calls. All right, so their holdings. Again, I'm not going to talk about the synthetic. I'm not even going to talk about the one strike price because it's irrelevant at this point. But the net asset value is 673.8 million. The NAV is 1510 and the trade price is 1508. So like I said, 4 trading days next week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and we'll see how they close out. All right. Let's hope for the best. Okay. Who's next? Oh, good Lord. NVIDIA. Yeah, I mean, okay. What the hell did they do? They closed out positions. They did this. They did that. They did the other thing. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to go through all these. But, basically, they BC'd. So they closed out positions. They opened new positions. And then they sold out. It looks like their synthetic, remainder of the synthetic, yeah. I don't know if you guys remember. They had a portion of the synthetic left. I don't know. Let's take a look because I can't even remember. Yeah, they had the 113. Yeah, they had some left from the 113. And they ended up closing it out. I don't know if you remember, they had scattered synthetics. So basically, they no longer do. And they moved it all to the 127. So it's essentially a synthetic bailout. This is way too much data to play around with. But let's just talk about it on the spreadsheet. It's just easier. All right, so the 113 was the synthetic. They had 33,800 contracts left. They closed it out. And they moved it to the 127. So the closeout, it actually made $63 million. So obviously that is a very good thing. So in the end, this synthetic, the 113 synthetic, had a profit for the month of June of $96 million. So yeah, good job on the 113 synthetic. Now they added those contracts to the 127 synthetic. So that was 33,800 contracts. Now, since the 127 is below the current price of Nvidia, you can see the buy call cost more than the put than they got for the put. So obviously, this cost them a pretty penny, but they could afford it, right? It cost them almost 20 million, but how much did they make? 63 million. So that's okay. Because look, they're 3.84% above this synthetic price already. So the June profits are really a loss for this synthetic so far because, again, they're paying money to open and start the positions. So, but as long as this synthetic, before it expires, they're priced above the price, the strike price, they'll be good. They'll be fine. All right. So, again, this synthetic expires August 16th. All right. So to recap, there's one synthetic now for NVIDIA. How did Nvidia do yesterday? Let's see. It went up 1.75%. NVDY only went up 0.83%. And guess what? You can imagine, yep, we're probably capped. So let's see how bad. So we closed out part of the contracts yesterday, right? 21,750. So, the day before. So yesterday they closed out the remainder of the 125's strike price. They paid 630 to do that. And then they closed out the 126. They paid 514 to do that. In the end, the price of Nvidia was actually only 4 and 5% out of the money. But since they went so tight, which again, maybe they had to get the appropriate yield, but since they went so tight, they lost. So this ended up being, a loss for the weeklies. And you can see the damage over here to the right, profit loss bucket, right? 10.9 million, 4.8 million, 1.5 million, the damage. So let's just say 11 million. We got 16, 17.5, 18, 18.5. So they lost about 18.5, okay? But you saw they made the 63 and they had to pay about almost 20. So it was a win. It was a win. It was a synthetic bailout, but it was still a win. But again, you want to win the weekly calls. That way you get maximum yield here. But unfortunately, it did not work out that way for Nvidia yesterday. So what did they do? Well, they opened. They took the new contracts, the contracts they closed, and they decided to use, in two different trades, but they decided to use the same strike price. They already had the position of the 135 strike. At the time, they opened it 4.16% out of the money. It's now 2.37% out of the money. But now the new position is a 137 strike price. That's 3.88% out of the money. So these are kind of tight, to be honest, for Nvidia, but that seems to be the trend because their IV maybe has not been what it used to be. But I don't really, it seems like they're trying too hard maybe to yield what they need to. But, but if you do look to the right, they only got 44% and 49% on an annualized basis, and their IV is 46%. So, those are essentially right where you would think they would choose. So again, that is really it. Like, that's how they choose their strike prices, and there's nothing more to it. So we could say all we want, they should have gone further out of the money, but if the yield is not going to get them what they need, then to them it's not worth it, right? But so they're going to do this, and if they lose, again, they have the synthetic. All right, sorry that my nose is like beyond runny today. So if I'm sniffing, it is what it is. Outstanding shares actually went down 30,000, which was unusual. Who sold yesterday, guys? Who would sell Nvidia? Crazy. Obviously, yeah, you could take profits. The profits, it's insane. Look at it. It's up 30 freaking dollars. This thing launched at 20. All right, 30-day IV, 46%. Outstanding shares, 23,300,000. The weeklies are not producing income. They're actually at a $15.2 million loss. And yeah, they got bailed out. So there is the synthetic bailout symbol. All right, they used it twice, which is fine. So now we get to have fun. Now we get to see the numbers. All right, synthetic income, 69.7 million, right? 69.7 million. Does that sound right? Let's see. 69. I always have to think, all right, what am I doing? 69.7. We got 96. Yeah, sounds about right. Okay. All right. So let's go back to that. So 69.7 synthetic, 15 million loss on the short calls. So net income, 54 million. That comes to $2.34 a share. And we're halfway through the month. Again, synthetic or not, this is income, right? And they pay out income. So I'm showing they made income of $2.34 per share. Last month they paid $2.56, and people are wondering, are they going to pay the same amount of money, right? Especially after the split. Well, I got news for you guys. At this rate, they're going to pay more than what they paid last month. I know I don't want to speak too soon, but and even the current synthetic, is doing good. So hopefully, even like I said, if NVIDIA, their strike prices are so tight, if NVIDIA goes down next week, that's fine. They'll actually win on the weekly calls, producing more income. So, but we'll see. So far, so good. This is annoying, by the way. Look at this. So the 113s, their put goes out an extra decimal. They have one put at 113.01 and then another at 113.001. I'm sorry, but I'm not adding that to my tracking. Just clear up this crap already. I think it's like a 6,000 net, so it's not worth my time. So just ignore that for now. I should actually black it out or something. But the 40 million, that's the real put. That's the new put for the 127. And then the calls right down below. And then they have the 2 calls heading into next week. But net asset value remains above 700 million. That's 710 million. The NAV is 30.49. The trade price 30.51. Okay, that was NVIDIA. CONY. Okay, CONY. Guys, I have to apologize yesterday because I did miss that they did not use all of the contracts. They closed out all the contracts, right? And they did not use all of them on the weekly calls. Someone mentioned that to me in the comments, and I didn't realize till I checked it, to be honest. So that's something I didn't scroll up in the spreadsheet. I just forgot to mention it in the video. So they did use the remaining contracts, as you can see with this trade, which was 9,660, and they sold a call into next week. So we'll see what that looks like for CONY. I thought I wasn't going to have work for CONY, but that's not really work. That's one trade. That's easy. All right, so they have a synthetic 260. As we know, expires July 19th, 25,185 shares. It's 5.96% below their strike. All right, so how did CONY do yesterday? CONY went down 1.27%. And coin went down 1.27%. CONY went down 1.04%. So they previously closed out, their trades. So they closed it out early. So was it a smart move? Sure, it was. I know if coin went down today, it would have looked even smarter. But either way, it's fine. So the new positions we talked about from yesterday. We'll recap all of them, though. Heading into next week, all that's grayed out because we talked about it. All right. So, heading into next week, the newest position, though, 9,660, 257.50 strike, 5.32% out of the money. All of the other positions, they have one around 15,000 contracts, 260, 250 strike price. It sits at 7.36% out of the money. And then they have 5,000 plus the one contract that just sits there. That has a 265 strike, 8.38% out of the money. 4 trading days, so that's a little better than these other ones. But let's see what they're yielding. 51%. Okay, so the one from yesterday, they opened 51% yield on an annualized basis, which is actually lower than their 30-day IV, 66%. But, we'll see. Scattered strikes, baby. All right, outstanding shares went up 500,000. That's pretty good. So CONY has interest. 30-day IV, 66.8%. We talked about that. Outstanding shares, 28.3 million. Weekly calls are producing a loss of 35.6 million, though. So what's the reaction? The reaction is smirk. He thinks he's being smart, right? Calculated. He's doing good things. All right, let's see if he is. Let's see what the details look like. Well, synthetic bailout money, 76 million. Short call loss, 35 million. So we have a net income of 40 million. And that produces a total income per share of $1.43. Not quite the NVIDY numbers, but hey, they're only like a $20 stock or ETF. NVIDIA's now a 30, so they're in different ballparks here. So $1.43 is very respectable so far, halfway through the month. All right, outstanding holdings. No reason to really talk about it. Again, they have 3 calls heading into next week. Short week, 4 trading days, but whatever. Net asset value, $617.5 million. NAV is $21.82 and trade price $21.86. All right, that was easy. Now, another monster. Oh my God, like these people. All right, again, I'm not going to go through all these. The only time I really break down the trades is obviously, well, when I have time. And number 2 is when there's not much going on for the day. I'm not going to do it on the Saturday video. You guys, this will be a freaking hour video if I started doing that. So again, the Saturday videos tend to be a little, I'll try to talk a little quicker because there's just way too much going on. So I'm just going to show you guys this, and then I'm going to break it down on the, the bigger spreadsheet. But, obviously they closed a whole bunch of calls in summary, and then they opened what looks to be, one new position with all those other calls. And then, yeah, just too much. Saturday videos, man. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, Friday. Yes, it's Friday. I'm done working. Then I realize, oh my God, I'm not really done working. All right, 1550 synthetic. Any action there? Yes. So they added 57 contracts yesterday, right? 614. 57 contracts to the 1550 synthetic. Yeah, sorry, let me just scroll there. All right, so there's now 1,615 contracts. They are 3.51% below their synthetic strike. But again, all good. Expires July 19th. All right, so how did MSTR do yesterday? That's really what matters here. Let's see. Kind of flat day, which is unlike them, but it went up 0.79%. Oh my God, MSTY went up exactly the same amount, 0.79%. Good job. All right, so they closed out a whole bunch of stuff yesterday. How did they do? Well, let's see. All of them cost pennies, basically. One of them cost 18 cents. So needless to say, they won. They had a successful week. Good job, MSTY. They basically made about $5 million in profit when all said and done. So again, a good job. Successful win on the weekly calls for MSTY. And they needed that because they essentially were not making money. Their new calls, again, the 96 contracts, that was already there. That was a 1650 strike, and it's currently 10.33% out of the money. So that's looking good for 4 trading days. And then we have the remainder, 1519 contracts, 1610 strike, 7.65% out of the money. Okay, we'll see what happens. That yields, but look at that yields, man, over 100%. What's their IV? 94%. So, all right, outstanding shares went up 275,000. And let's go to the recap. 30-day IV, we talked about 94%. Outstanding shares, 8,650,000. And finally, some weekly freaking income from MSTY, 4.4 million weekly income. That's a distribution of 52 cents, 5 cents a day. Daily yield, 0.18%. Annualize that, 64%. These are not MSTY numbers, but again, they're having a bad month. MSTY fund manager, though, he's pretty happy. He won. He won his weekly calls by a lot, by a ton. However, this tab sucks for them, right? June synthetic income is they're losing. They lost 1.8 million. Short call income, though, finally is income, $4.4 million in income. So, net income total 2.6. So we'll just look at the short call income that they're producing, 52 cents, about halfway through the month. So that estimate looks like $1.45 or 59% yield, which, guys, as a MSTY shareholder, sometimes it's going to happen. You're not going to get that massive distribution. I mean, come on. $4, $2.50, $3.03. Like, guys, it's not going to happen. You're going to get $1 something at some point. And if you're upset with $1 something, I mean, you're getting a little greedy. So it's going to happen, and this may be the month. So just brace for it now. Unless if MSTR flies to the moon and they do this massive synthetic bailout, that's really the only way they're going to be able to catch up and pay you over $2. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot, so you never know. All right, so we got a call hanging out at the top. So that's annoying. But yeah, 3 calls heading into next week. And then obviously the synthetic, it's in pink and orange, but whatever. MSTY net asset value, 254 million. The NAV is 29.38 and the trade price is 29.46. So that's it for MSTY. That's it for all of them. And was it a good week? It was okay. Yeah, pretty good week. Next week, it's going to be a little harder for me because I'm actually going to be in New York City with the YieldMax. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this Saturday morning video in the morning. I may have to wait until the late afternoon. So I'll apologize for that now. If I can do it live, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. I'm leaving bright early, so who knows? But anyway, expect some content to come out next week in New York City with other YouTubers too. Not going to mention who's going. I'm not sure if they even want it mentioned, but there'll be other people there, so it should be a good time. So I'm just the only point I'm saying this is because my Saturday video more than likely will not be out at 6:30 a.m. unless for some reason I feel like doing it live in the morning. I don't know. We'll see, guys. But anyway, enough rambling. I gotta shut down and get moving for the day. But as always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully I had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, I will try again on Monday. And what the hell else? That's it, man. I know you guys are slacking on the likes. I forgot to mention in the beginning again, but whatever. If you guys enjoy this video, please hit the thumbs up, like button, and if you like it, of course. If you don't, then don't. But it is what it is. It helps. It does help the algorithm. It has been working, so I do appreciate the people that do that. I didn't even think of a key word, but I don't know. Keyword, frickin'. No, I'm not gonna do frickin' NVDY. Who should we do? Frickin' Tesley. How about that? Because Tesley, like I said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And they chose 1 strike versus 2. Maybe I'm going a little harsh on them, but sorry, but frickin' Tesley. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you can leave a comment down below. Frickin' Tesley. We haven't done a frickin' Tesley, so they've been winning though. They've been really good. So props to them. But like I said, I would rather they choose the 2nd strike price because it's been working so smoothly at this pace. But we'll see what happens next week. It could be a moot point. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. I'm done rambling. Like I said, I was half asleep. Now I'm still half asleep. But hopefully the video came out okay. If not, it is what it is. It's a daily video, so I could screw up one day and it won't be that big a deal, right? But anyway, I'm out of here. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend. Later.